Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is Rachel here. Happy Nutcracker season. Today we thought it would be fun to show you guys how we break in our pointe shoes and how we prepare them to wear for class, rehearsals, and even performances. I also wanted to mention that this sweatshirt is from Dancy Life, and you can get any of these sweatshirts in the link in the description. They're so comfy, so cute, and perfect for dancers, perfect for a gift for a dancer. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's get right into it. Hi guys, I'm Elliana and I'm here with Coco. I'm going to show you how I break in my pointe shoes. So I have a new box of pointe shoes. I already sewed up this pair, but I want to show you some unique things I do to my pointe shoes. My left foot is bigger than my right, so I cut the back of the heel. I don't cut it too much because if you do, then it will start going farther and farther down. When I'm sewing the elastic on, I tie my knots on the outside of the shoe so that the inside won't hurt my heel because my knots are pretty big. When I jet glue my pointe shoes, I do on the arch in the back, and then inside of the pointe shoe, I do at the top of the box. My shoes usually last me like around a month, so that's a pretty long time. They get really dead by the end, but I can usually make them live for a month. Okay, so I have a brand new pair of pointe shoes. And first thing I do is sew the elastic on and then the ribbons, which I already did. And then I'm gonna take off the stickers that are inside. Now I'm gonna try to break them in before I put them on my feet. Also, I'm wearing a Dancy Life sweatshirt, and this is Stage Step Marley floor. This is a board that I'm on, and then this is the Marley. So these are both Stage Step. I can usually tell which shoe is right or left from just looking at the way the shoes are made, but not always. Sometimes it's difficult. So first I'm going to try to smash the shoe. My shoes aren't very crunchy, so you're not going to hear anything. Now I'm going to try to break in the box. I like to break it like here. I place my hand here at the bottom, like the tip of the shoe, and then I just smash it. Done. So that it's nice and round. And I kind of just move that back and forth. And then I'm going to break in the demi-pointe, which is really important for me to do before I put the pointe shoes on. So I just grab the top of the box and smoosh it down. I use my full body weight for this. Okay, I'm gonna try them on. They're still a little loud. Also, another thing is I don't usually use my drawstrings that much. I feel like I don't really need to. So I usually just cut them and then leave a little bit to tuck inside my shoe. But yeah, I usually don't really mess with the drawstring. It's always harder to fit my left foot into my pointe shoes, especially when my feet are not warm, because my feet shrink a little bit when they're warmed up. Okay, let's see how these shoes are. They're pretty good right now, actually. Yeah, the demi-pointe needs to be broken in. I'm gonna try to break in the demi-pointe a bit more. Coco likes my pointe shoe. I think my shoes are ready to go. I'm going to be showing you guys how I darn. So I recently started darning my pointe shoes, and this has just been super helpful for me in keeping my shoes lasting a bit longer. So as you can see here, I just darn the tip of the box. They're a bit of a softer shoe, so they die a little bit quicker, and this just helps keep the box as more of a platform than like a rounded edge, so you know exactly where you want to be on your shoes. This is an older pair that I used for Giselle, but I'm just showing you guys what it looks like once it's done. And I'm going to take out a brand new pair of pointe shoes. So I wear the Block Flexus pointe shoes. They're super shiny, they're pretty loud, and they're very hard. The first thing I'm going to do is take my darning thread. You can get this thread pretty much anywhere. You could find it on like Amazon or like a craft store. You could either get specifically darning thread or you could get crochet thread. I like to use a pretty thick needle
and then I'm just gonna put it through. I'm gonna take a lot of thread here. It's better to do more than less. I'm gonna do like this much, and then once I feel like I have got enough, I'll cut the end, and then with these two end pieces I'm just gonna make a knot. So however you want to make your knot. I'm actually gonna double knot it just to really secure it. So now I have this long thread. I'm gonna take my shoe. You can really start anywhere, but I'm gonna start on this back right corner, and I'm just gonna put it through like this. So I just went through once. Next, I'm gonna take the thread. I'm gonna put it straight forward. I'm gonna put my finger on it to keep it there. I'm gonna poke through again on the right side, keeping my finger on this one to keep it like this. And I'm gonna poke another hole through. That should create a nice loop. So that's all it is. I've already done a couple stitches. I have my pointer finger on the thread as I have it forward. I'm gonna put my needle through just on the edge, and then I'm going to pull. So I'm just pulling it through like that. And I'm just gonna do that all the way around the box. Some people just do half, but I like to go all the way around. And I like to do them pretty close together. Now when you're first starting out, this could take a long time. For me, it took a long time as I started, and sometimes the thread can kind of knot up a little bit, but you just have to keep going, try your best. I've also broken needles from darning, so it kind of just takes a while to get used to it, and you'll get faster the more you go, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm doing the back half, and this doesn't change anything. It still just stays the exact same. The only thing is the back half, the point shoes is a little bit more straight than the rounded tip of the front. It's like straighter stitches back here, but it really shouldn't change much. And some spots are harder to get the needle through than others. Okay, so we almost made it to the end. So this is our last loop. This is what it looks like now. We made it all the way around. This is our knot from the beginning. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to put the needle through one of these stitches to get it to the outside. And I'm just gonna make a second knot after I do this, another knot. And then I'm just going to cut off all this excess stuff. So I don't need these knots here on the side. It should stay on its own. So now that I cut that off, we have a new cleaned darn shoe. So this is what it should look like. And then for reference, this is what a normal shoe looks like. This will put you right on your box, and then this one, it's a little bit more rounded. I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other shoe. And you could actually go around twice if you wanted to. I usually wear mine for a couple days or like maybe a week, and then I'll add another layer of darning right on top. I'll do the same thing, I'll just add it right on top just to make it a little bit more there, because when you wear it for a couple days, it starts to wear out the darning. So then a couple days later, I'll just add more darning right on top of that. That is how you darn your point shoes.
Hi everyone, it's Michelle here, and today I'm going to be showing you how I prepare my point shoes. This is a new pair of point shoes, brand new in the bag, and I also have a couple other shoes here so I can show examples of things. This is what they look like. I wear the Nikolai Maya shoes. They're sadly discontinued, but you can still get them through a custom order, so that's what I do. When I first started wearing point shoes, I wore Capezios, which works great for my feet, but I feel like since my feet are so wide where the toes are, the box just looked really boxy, like it was really big. For these, it's really nice because they don't have that boxy look to them, but they still don't smash my toes. What does help me is I put them flat on the ground, and I will step on it, like fully put all my weight on it, and kind of smash this part down. Then I pull the little sticker out. What I do is I take out actually a big part of the shank because I don't have the most bendy feet in the world, so it helps me a lot be able to easily get on my box without having to try so hard. Especially when they get tired, it's hard to get on your box or point them and make them look nice. So taking out some of the shank is really helpful for that. So the first thing I do is I pull apart this top part, which I've already done. Depending on the shoe, because every shoe is different, sometimes there's more glue up here than other times, so sometimes it's really hard to break it apart. I keep pulling it until I find the nail. There's the nail. I try to break all of this apart. There's like a little ridge right here, so
There's extra material down here, and then there's actually 2 layers up at the top also on this particular shoe. So I take out kind of pretty much everything. I usually cut right here. I have these big fabric scissors, so I just cut there. I'm gonna pull that apart. Now we've broken these 2 layers apart. You can kind of see there's this extra part, and now I've torn apart the top 2. Now the nail is gonna be easy to take out, so I'm gonna take that out. Also, within these layers, there's this little plastic thing. When I realized this was in there, this was the first thing I experimented taking out, because this thing does not bend at all. It's like a super hard piece of plastic. It's great if you have super bendy feet, you want that in there to keep you supported, but for me, absolutely not. That was the first thing I took out. Through the years, I've kind of been taking out more, and last year I added another layer. I usually have to split this part kind of in half because it's really tough, so it's hard to cut it. I usually cut it a little bit below where the nail is. Then I cut through this little material that's kind of holding these 2 sections at the top together. I cut through that so I can pull them apart. 2 sections at the top. And now I also cut off this layer. So all I have really is this flimsy layer. So when you do all of that, you end up with this. I've basically cut all of that down. There's just like a little thing right here. This is very bendy. So that goes on top. So really I only have support down here in the first half. And then the rest of this just bends really easily. So I can actually do that with a new pair of shoes. I'll have to say my feet aren't very bendy. So definitely don't do that if you're newer. But if you've been on Pointe for a while and you have trouble breaking in your shoes and getting on your box, it might be something to look into. Maybe don't start by taking out as much as I take out. I started with just taking out this little plastic thing and kind of leaving the rest, so you can experiment. I usually put it on my foot with the toe pads, and I pull it and tie it how I like it, and then take it off my foot, and I cut about like 2 inches away from the knot. Then I just tuck them under, and I usually don't feel them when I'm dancing. So that's all I do before I even start sewing my shoes. It takes me a while to get my shoes prepared because I do so much beforehand. For sewing, I don't do anything too crazy. I have my ribbons and elastic. I use the stretchy elastic. I love it. I think it's great. Some people need a little extra support, so they prefer to stay with the regular type. I usually turn this part inside out. Makes it a little bit easier to sew. And then I just stick this here pretty close to like where this seam is. I stick it pretty close to there, both sides, like this. For my ribbons, I sew it like this, just a big loop. We have this big thing of thread, and it's pretty thick thread, which is good for pointe shoes. You want to have a thicker thread so it doesn't break while you're dancing. Some people like to go around the outside and sew little loops like that. I just kind of go in a straight line and then back the other way and then back the other way. It's kind of more of a jumbled mess, but it's just kind of how I've always done it. Also, I have my Dancy Life shirt on here. It says, I can't feel my toes. I like to wear this a lot when we're doing performances because I can really relate then. I'm gonna show you guys how I do the loop and why it's so great. Here's a new shoe. I take the ribbon, I sew it on the inside, so about that far down. Then I stretch it just a little bit, and then you wrap it around once, twice, and then you sew it to the other side. Once I get it to the other side, I sew it on the other side. So here's a used shoe, and I will show you how I tie them. You twist it once, you put it under your foot, so now you have a nice little crisscross here. Then you pull it behind your leg. You've got a loop now, so you cross it when you pull it behind. Then you pull it front again, and there you go. No knots. You can only do this with the stretchy ribbon, obviously. It's really great because you don't have to worry about your knots coming out in shows. It's just so nice to not have to worry about that anymore. Just one less thing to stress about. And then I also want to talk about our amazing stage step floor, which we have here. We've had this since 2020, and it still works so amazingly. We love this floor so much. Like, we still use it all the time. We film videos in here, we practice in here. It's lasted so well, it's still going strong.
not showing any signs of decay. This is also a padded marley. It's still firm, which is nice. It doesn't get all squishy. We have a really hard floor underneath this. We love our stage step floor, and I hope you enjoyed watching how I prepare my pointe shoes. Hopefully that was insightful to you and that you learned something from that, and maybe you can take some of these tips. Make sure to like and subscribe because we post every week, and we'll see you at the next video. Bye!
Coco doesn't want to show you how she breaks in her pointe shoes. She's so cute. Who is there? Yeah. Jump Marley foil. Stage jump Marley. Bro, what the heck? Stage jump. We're dancing together. You can just see her little tail. Keep 100 on the land. Keep 100, keep 100 on the land. Keep 100 on the land. Keep 100 on the land.
Oh my goodness.
Just pull this over here.